Since the 1994 publication of the first Russell memoir, The Beekeeper's Apprentice, a stream of stories, all of them under the authorship of Laurie R. King, for reasons explained by Miss Russell elsewhere, have continued to uncover the remarkable adventures of this young woman and her partner-turned-husband, Sherlock Holmes. In addition to the novels that make up Miss Russell's memoirs, an assortment of supplemental material in the form of short stories and the like offer insight into previously unexplored corners of their lives. And yet, it is equally striking how often Miss Russell chooses not to reveal matters. Her relationship with parents and brother, for example, is given in small, though illuminating, vignettes. Details are sparse of her work with the psychiatric doctor Leah Ginsberg. One searches in vain for the precise locations of houses, or even their physical characteristics. Yes, one is forced to read between the lines, here as elsewhere in the Russell memoirs. A reader even begins to wonder if this is not a large part of their appeal. One gets the very clear sensation, even when Russell is little more than a child, that privacy is paramount, and that any conclusions regarding her person will require a great deal of research, a thorough analysis, and a lot of just plain investigation, as is, on reflection, only appropriate.
Mary Russell, My War Journal, 4th of August 1914. I was 14 when I first heard about the war. 14 years and 214 days, with my nose, as usual, in a book as I walked down the stairs. At least that's how Mother says I shall remember this day. And Father agrees. The war will be both long and hard for all the European countries and the empire beyond. Flo's parents. Flo carries the role of my best friend, so of course I telephoned to her about Britain's declaration of war immediately I had finished my meal, although it was a brief conversation, since Mother and Father both wished to use the instrument, yet they would not allow me to go to Flo's house. Oh, when will I be permitted to take a simple walk without a chaperone? At any rate, Flo's parents are of the opinion that England will sweep up the German army in no time. However, since Mother has a dreary way of being right about everything, I thought I might mark the occasion by taking out the journal she gave me for my birthday 214 days ago and begin writing in it. If she's wrong, I shall show her this as a demonstration of her fallibility. Everyone has been talking about war for what seems like my entire life. Certainly long before the Archduke and his wife were shot in Sarajevo at the end of June. I have to admit that I have yet to understand precisely what the heir to a Bohemian throne— will I ever be able to hear that name without envisioning Sherlock Holmes and Irene Adler— has to do with an invasion of Belgium. Judging by the conversation of many adults and the cross purposes of the newspaper editorials, I am not the only one to whom the sequence is unclear. Still, one thing is clear. The fuse of the powder keg that is Europe has been set alight. Looking at what I have written here, I realize that I must decide how much explication a diary requires. Do I explain to a stranger the basic facts of my life? Or do I make notes that might remind a future absent-minded self that, it being 1914, I live in San Francisco though I was born in England, that my mother is Jewish and my father Christian? I suppose that the possibilities of unfamiliar eyes seeing this means I ought to introduce myself. Very well. My name is Mary Judith Emily Russell, though I never use the name Emily. Daughter of Charles Russell, of Boston, Massachusetts, and Judith Rebecca Russell,